What is up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's show. It usually is called the Late Night Agenda, but we're going to have to just call it the Nightly Agenda or something now if we move to this new half-8 slot that we're playing around with. I hope you're all well. I hope life is treating you good, and I hope that the sun is shining and everybody in your lives are healthy. There's loads for us to get through as always tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have a little chat about net spend to start off. Hello to everybody that's already in the chat. Hello to all our members, our moderators, and everybody maybe that's with us for the first time. As you can see, the subscriber count is ticking along rather nicely towards 38k. Can we get there on this stream? I don't know, but if you are enjoying it or you do enjoy it, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the stream as well. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the net spend for the last 5 seasons, a table has been compiled, and I thought that we could have a little chat about this. So there are 2 ways to look at net spend, my friends. You could look at it in a positive aspect and you could look at it from a negative aspect. Now firstly, let's have a look at Liverpool's place in this net spend table. As you can see, the Reds are sitting at 14th place with a net spend average of 108 million over the last 5 years. Compare that, I suppose, with Norwich at the bottom, who've made a £25 million profit over the past few years. And then you look at the top of the table, Manchester City there having spent a whopping £602 million over the past 5 years net on transfers. Now, as always, these figures don't take into account things like VAT, agents' fees, taxes and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit of a football manager table. And look, heads up, it is not our table. We nicked this from somewhere else. So, again, full disclosure. So I want to have a chat about where Liverpool currently sit in that table. In 14th place, and over the last 5 years, we've spent on average, or net I should say, £108 million. Now, we can put a positive spin on this, and that's usually the way I like to look at it. So you can say that we've been extremely clever in the transfer market and gotten excellent value for money, or you can go with the negative spin that other people try to put on it to say that the owners have pretty much sell to buy and that the manager hasn't been backed as much as he could be. Now my argument against that, ladies and gentlemen, is that I think we've just been extremely clever in the market, and the money that we've brought in from sales has improved massively. Our net spend would look much better and much healthier for those who want us to spend more money if Michael Edwards hadn't been as brilliant as he has been about bringing in money from transfer funds. So think back to the days where Liverpool had these players on bloated contracts that they had to bring them in on to attract them to the club, because at that moment in time, say let's go back maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, we weren't regularly in Champions League and we had players that were sitting around on overinflated contracts that we couldn't get rid of. And we used to have to loan them out and loan them out and loan them out and loan them out. Their contract ran down and they left. That has stopped since Michael Edwards has come in. And right now, Liverpool are getting tremendous fees for the players that they sell and move on. And that adds to why our net spend is so low. So there are people who'll say, oh, we've only spent 108 million quid. But yeah, you've got to keep in mind why we've only spent 108 million quid. We've only spent it because we've been so clever with the way we've gone about our transfer business. And I know there's going to be people screaming at me saying, the owners don't spend, you fucking clown, the owners don't spend. And I think the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. The truth probably does lie somewhere in the middle. Now, one thing that we have to take into account also is that we have to cut our cloth accordingly. Now, this has nothing to do with the upcoming window, because I'm firmly of the belief that I think Liverpool need to go out and address some glaring deficiencies in our squad in this upcoming window. So before anybody comes in and has a pop at me and say I'm trying to defend the owners, I'm not. I'm just trying to present a well-balanced conversation around the whole net spend thing and why it isn't as simple as just saying, oh, we've only spent 108 million quid. Because if we were shit at selling players, then we'd be in a whole world of trouble here, and our net spend would be a lot higher, but we wouldn't have gotten value for money. Now, as you guys know, I often talk to Claude and the Bances, and I've had conversations with those guys about the money that Arsenal, as an example, have wasted. Look at Manchester United there. They've spent 485 million quid in the past 5 years net on transfers, and where are they compared to where we are? So my argument here is that we've just been extremely clever in the way we've gone about things. Now, could we spend a little bit more? Perhaps. Would we like us to spend a little bit more? Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Because I think if we think back, the last major signing that I can really remember, say in excess of 15, 20 million quid, was what? Alisson Becker. And that's quite a way. So That's how I wanted to start off the stream. I just wanted to show you guys this net spend table. Let's have a look at it again in more detail. So Manchester City have spent the most with 602 million quid. Manchester United 485 million quid. Arsenal surprisingly have spent 268 million quid. Then the Merseyside billionaires go in fourth place, having spent 225 million net spend and haven't got a sniff of European football. Oh, God, isn't it great? God bless them. God bless the Merseyside billionaires. A couple of things that have surprised me are there. Bournemouth up in 8th place in the net spend table. Now, they are a regular fixture in the Premier League, and Eddie Howe's done a great job keeping them there. But to see them spending 177 million quid net, what is that, about 69 million quid more than Liverpool in the same 5-year period. So again, to those that are going to come in and say that we haven't been backed, look, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. We are the best team in the world right now. We have a badge to prove it and a trophy in the trophy cabinet. We're still the reigning European champions. We won the Super Cup and we're about to go and win the Premier League at a canter, possibly setting a new points record. So the reason that I brought this up at the start isn't to defend the owners or to vilify the owners. It's just to give my point of view as to why I think we've been so successful. That's it. You guys are absolutely happy to come in and give your opinion. I'm going to spend a few minutes now reading out your comments before I go on to the next segment that I wanted to talk about, because this is your show, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what have we got? Farwell said we've bought some supreme players in the last 5 years. If we haven't spent big in the past years, we should spend now. Said Liverpool, you never walk alone. Farrow said, I agree with you, Craig, but as I said, we need to capitalise on winning the league by signing the players that will secure our future. Now, I absolutely agree with that, mate. I fully believe that when you're in a position of strength, you should not only consolidate that position, that you should look to push on. But I will say here is, don't think that Jurgen Klopp is a fool. Because I know there's some people out there who sit back and think that the owners are just not backing him and the Klopp's sitting in his office and he's absolutely fuming about this. No, far from it. Often at times it's Jurgen Klopp that doesn't believe that there is value in a particular signing, and that's one thing that he keeps saying. He's not just going to spend money for the sake of it. He's going to spend money for somebody that he fully believes will come in, hit the ground running and improve this team. And I think that he's earned the right to have that belief from us as fans. It's easy to vilify the owners. It's easy to come in and go, look at the net spend, the manager hasn't been backed. But he has. And he wouldn't have signed that contract extension to 2024 if he wasn't happy at the club. Again, I'm going to have some more of your comments now, ladies and gentlemen, before I move on to the transfer gossip. Other teams will catch up, said John West. Well, John, as an example, mate, Man United there spending 485 million quid, haven't really caught up. If anything, they're still floundering around the 4th, 5th place that they have been for the last few years, mate, and they've kind of been dropping in and out of the Champions League. West Ham have spent 187 million quid and have been, mid-table at best. Joanne, thank you for the super chat. Joanne said, just shows you don't have to spend big to spend successful, or to be successful. Quality, not quantity. John West said, hearing things about Adama Traore. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later on in the stream, mate. Melissa said, love your background. Thank you, Melissa. Again, Connor. Not down to me, it's down to Connor. What else have we got? I think Klopp has Mbappe up his sleeve, said Ryan Walsh. That's wishful thinking, mate, and I wish we were all right in that one, but look, honestly, I can't see it happening. I know a lot of people are asking about Traore. Trust me, I'm going to get to it in a minute. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to address the net spend conversation before we move on, because I know a lot of people like to just throw it. A lot of people like to use it as a stick to bash the owners with, and I'm just trying to give them a balanced view of why I think it's a little bit different. People are taking FSG for granted, said Owen Ormond. QT Mod said, I think we should sign the contract, buddy. Klopp gets on with things. Exactly. Klopp gets his head down and gets on with it, but if he was unhappy, my point being, mate, he wouldn't have signed an improved deal. He would have just seen out his contract and taken a year off or whatever he was going to do before he moved on. Mr. Arsenal Podcast, is everything okay, Craig? Because somebody messaged me on Instagram claiming to be you. Absolutely fine, mate, and I don't message anybody on Instagram, so if you do get a DM of anybody claiming to be me, it isn't us, and if it is us, it'll be from the Anfield Agenda account, mate. I don't have a personal Instagram or anything like that, so yeah, I'm all good, buddy, but definitely wasn't me that was messaging you anyway, I can promise you that one. Conor McGregor's retiring for the 4th time. Conor McGregor retires from MMA more than I quit Twitter, and that's saying something, like. What else we got? I think I'd be surprised by the signing of Klopp, said Chanzo the man, and I hope that is the case. Right, let me move on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. And the first one that I have up for you guys is Jadon Sancho. Right, so let me just get this up here 1 second. No, actually, it's not Jadon Sancho, is it? It's Traore. So let's go with Adama Traore. So let me just get this image up, and then we'll get on to Adama Traore. Right, so Adama Traore. The Sunday Mirror have written a piece saying that Reds manager Jurgen Klopp is absolutely desperate, and they used the phrase absolutely desperate, to sign Wolves' Adama Traore, who he has called unplayable. A little segment from the article said, the champions-elect have inquired about the 24-year-old Spaniard who has made a huge impact at Molineux this season. It's not the first, it's not the second, and it's not the third time that I've seen us linked with Adama Traore. I've kind of brushed it off a few times, but I want to know what you guys think about this one. Would you be happy with Liverpool going out and signing Adama Traore? Has anybody seen a figure that's been put out there for the Adama Traore? I think, if I remember correctly, 60 million was a figure that I remember seeing thrown around. I don't know if this is true or not, and I don't know if Wolves would even sell him. I'd also seen stuff around Jimenez maybe gone to Manchester United, and then I think Jose Mourinho is interested and he wants to bring Ruben Neves to Spurs, so there's no way that Wolves are going to let go of the three key players there. So if one of them was to move on, is it going to be Adama? I don't know. For me, it's difficult because there's no denying that Adama Traore has had an amazing breakthrough season this year. And I say breakthrough because it's the first time he's really stepped up in the Premier League. But is it an anomaly? I don't know. But what I will say is if Jurgen Klopp wants him, I genuinely believe that the owners will back him and go and get him if he is for sale. Now, of course, every club has the right to turn around and say, nah, no price, he's not for sale. Doesn't matter how much money you put on the table. Lewis Dalton said no, he wouldn't take him for 60 million. Ben Washbrook said, nah, he goes hot and cold, Craig. I'm genuinely glad that people are thinking about this the same way as me, because that's exactly how I am. I think that he's an excellent player who Klopp has rightly said is unplayable at times, but I also think that the Wolves system is set up to kind of get the ball, give it to Adama, and hope that he just goes through like a steam train, because he's an absolute unit, and when he gets to speed up, it's almost impossible to stop him without fouling him, because he's that strong, powerful and direct. But has he got the defensive nous to come and play at Liverpool? Has he got the ability to maybe open up a defence who's playing with a low block? I don't know. Future might tell. I just think 60 million quid might be a little bit too much. I think there might be better value out there for that money personally. Rob Shepherd said the price seems to be around 50 to 60 million quid. Anything more than 50 is overpaying, said SDB. He's too one-dimensional, said Josh Dent. Brilliant. I like to see that we're all on the same level here, people. I like to see that we're thinking the same way. Well in. I take him, he's a beast, and coming from the bench against tired legs, he could be lethal, said Tom Jones. What else have we got? I think he costs too much and there's other players for cheaper, said Shanzo. What have we got? Can I interview you at some point this month for my channel? I'm reaching out to Premier League fans. Email us if you want to, Cal, mate. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Contact at AnfieldAgenda.com, mate. Email us on there and I'll get back to you, I promise you. What else is there? Haven't heard anything about Genie for a while. But I've got a bit of news for you later on. LFC Fan 96 on Genie. So, again, look, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are hounding close. Is that even a phrase? We're getting there. Let's put it that way. We're closing in on 38,000 subscribers. If you're enjoying the stream, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the stream as well. Patrick Doyle said he's a monster, Craig, with regards to Adama. Klopp will improve him. Said Liverpool, you never walk alone. John West is suggesting a player swap. You know, mate, we've got to call you Tuna, don't you? You know that we've got to call you Tuna. So every time you come into the chat now, John, we're going to have to call you Tuna, mate, because it's the only thing we could call somebody whose name is John West. And I mean it in a loving way, buddy. Sell Shaqiri and buy Adama, said Ryan Walsh. It's, you know what, it's... Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, I don't know how much we'd get for Shaqiri. Maybe 20, 25 million quid perhaps. Is he better than Dara O'Brien? Of course not, Rick. Nobody's better than Dara O'Brien. Can you imagine Salah sprinting away on one side and Adama on the other, Mane flying through, said Bernadette. I'd have Traore over Shaqiri any day, said Tom Jones. So would I. I mean, if that was the conversation, mate, if it was, would you have Adama or Shaqiri? I'm taking Traore every day of the week, because I've said it from day one, I've never been fully convinced that Connor moans at me when I pronounce his name incorrectly, Mr. Shaqiri, I've never been convinced that he's cut out to really make it at Liverpool. I always thought he could be a decent impact player and somebody who we could bring in maybe for the cup games and stuff like that. I don't rate him much. He's not consistent, said David Carroll. By the way, I know we've got a lot of new people who are tuning in over the past week or so that have found the channel and come in to have a watch. And let me just say thank you and welcome. If I haven't welcomed you already, thank you for coming in and joining us for some streams. So really appreciate it. How's my second favourite bald guy going, said Luke. How can I only be your second favourite? The only way that's acceptable, Luke, is if Joe Rogan is number one, mate. Other than that, maybe Fabinho. I'll give you Fabinho as well. How much would Shaqiri cost, said JJ? It's a good question, JJ. I think maybe somewhere around the 20-25 million mark if we were to sell him. Let me move on because I've loads of news to get through, and then I'm going to circle back around to more of your comments. Right, so we've done the Adama Traore piece. Let's go back to the next piece, which is Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen. The Independent claim that if Jurgen Klopp wants to go out to try and sign Jadon Sancho, then FSG would find the money to make the move happen. I've taken a bit of an excerpt from the article, and it says, finance is an issue for Liverpool. They did not move for Leipzig's Timo Werner due to budget reasons amid the COVID-19 crisis. Losing out to Chelsea, and their FSG owners are said to be feeling some constraints with no MLB games for their Boston Red Sox. I don't know how that correlates to Liverpool, by the way. I'm baffled whenever anybody tries to use the Red Sox against Liverpool or vice versa, but we move on anyway. It continues to say, signing Sancho would require at least 80 million, and the extent of his wage demands would also necessitate improvements for Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. United would also be able to financially trump Liverpool, which, look, isn't a surprise. I've said this to you before. When it comes to generating cash, United is an absolute behemoth when it comes to that. If the Old Trafford hierarchy cannot secure Sancho, however, there is hope that some deal can be done, maybe even in a year's time. There's also a feeling that if Jurgen Klopp does want the player that badly, funds will be found. That is obviously much likelier than if one of Mane or Salah are sold, which none of us want to happen, let's be honest. I mean, none of us want, even to get a player like Jadon Sancho, none of us really want to be moving on any of our front three. Sancho himself is said to see Liverpool as a more attractive option. I mean, why wouldn't he, to be fair? Klopp has spoken to the player in the past, told him how much he admires him, and said there'll always be a place if Salah and Mane stay. The Dortmund forward could play anywhere across Liverpool's front line. Now, what's your take on this, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm unsure about this one. It's easy to come out and say, well, look, if we couldn't find the money for Timo Werner, then how the fuck are we going to find the money for Jadon Sancho? But I think the important part of this is at the very start, when I said to you guys before that if Jurgen Klopp badly wants a player, that the owners will back him and try and go out and get him. So if Jurgen Klopp really does have his heart set on Jadon Sancho, or Ousmane Dembele, or Kai Havertz, or Houssem Aouar, whoever it might be, that the owners will back him. None of us really know what happened with Timo Werner. None of us know if Frank Lampard just convinced him to go to Chelsea, sold him a plan that he'd be starting every week, sold him a plan that he's going to build an attack around him, and maybe Timo thought, you know what? Maybe I could wait and see what happens at Liverpool. That might fall through. I had my move to Bayern Munich fall through the year before. I like what Frank Lampard has to say. I'll go and play in London. Maybe that was the case. Maybe it was the case that Liverpool just couldn't come up with the 50 million quid in this current financial climate. I don't know. Maybe it was the wages, rumoured to be around 200 grand a week or more. Again, it's all hypotheticals because none of us are inside that transfer committee and none of us know the absolute working. So I firmly believe, and I'm going to keep repeating this, if Klopp wants a player, the right player, the money will be found. If that takes to wait a little while, then so be it. But it's too early to lose our minds in the transfer window, ladies and gentlemen, because one, it hasn't even opened yet, and two, look, one player who we thought might be joining has gone and probably going elsewhere. So yeah, it is difficult to make a pitch here, to make an argument, to see a way that we could go out and get Sancho this summer. I've got to be honest about it. And would we like him at the club? Yes. I don't think there's any of us out there that would have an argument to suggest that Jadon Sancho wouldn't prosper under Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool and that he wouldn't eventually force his way into that team, even if it is maybe rotation to start with. I think most of you in the chat like Jadon Sancho as a player. Callum Shaw said he'd be a great fit. Sancho's good, but his price is going to be crazy, said Shanzo. John West said only Havertz will get starting in the team. Even at that, mate. I mean, Kai Havertz, there's two ways of looking at him. It's kind of scary how good he could be, but he still has some glaring deficiencies in his game that he isn't quite fully finished. He's not the finished article by a long way, which, as I said, is scary considering how good he is already. You can see that he still has improvements to make in his game. I have to say, I kind of admire Jadon Sancho for what he did. He took the gamble of going to Germany to prove himself, and he has gone over there and proved himself. And that shows you that, to use a Brendan Rodgers phrase, he's a man of tremendous character that believes in his own ability. So, QT Mod said Sancho's also sponsored by Nike, so that 20% in shirt sales makes some sense. Feel like Sancho has a bad attitude, said not me. Now, one thing I've always said about any player that comes to Liverpool Football Club is Jurgen Klopp and the rest of that transfer committee are not going to bring in anybody who might destabilise the tremendous harmony that's built up in that Liverpool dressing room, because you can see it. They're all pulling in the same direction, they're all fighting for each other, and if any player comes to the club, that's not a worry I ever have, because we know the vetting process that Liverpool go through, and we know how deeply they look at transfers. They watch them playing in different environments, they watch them playing in different countries, they watch them playing right through their careers, they look into their background. Klopp likes to have a chat with the player, not just about football but about their life in general and their outlook. And look, that's before you get into all the statistical analysis that are done by the backroom team, the sports science department, and guys that just have so much information at their fingertips in this day and age. Just go and get Havertz, it'd be worth every penny, said Shea Trainer. What else have we got? What are your thoughts on Dembele? I went through Dembele a lot over the past few days, mate. I just don't see Barcelona taking that much of a hit on him at 40 million. I just don't see them taking that much of a hit. Look, I'm going to move on because I have a lot to get through, and then I'll get back to all of your comments again. Right, the next thing that I wanted to have a chat about was the Gini Wijnaldum contract situation, ladies and gentlemen. So, Gini Wijnaldum, there you can see, look at that beautiful beam and smile there. Who doesn't love a little bit of Gini Wijnaldum? Now, there's a small bit of an update on this, because I know things have gotten a little bit quiet on the Gini Wijnaldum situation over the past few weeks, and people keep asking me about it, but I didn't have anything to say to you. But I know that you guys a lot of the time keep bringing up Fabrizio Romano to me. Well, he's come out and claimed that talks between Liverpool and Gini Wijnaldum's agent to extend his contract are going so well. Now, that's good news. That's good news. I'm happy to hear that those talks are going well, because extending that deal for me seems like a straightforward thing to do. I mean, with regards to from a common sense perspective. I think there was some rumours that maybe he wanted a little bit longer than Liverpool were willing to give him. But one thing we can say about Gini Wijnaldum is the man can play anywhere across the midfield, and he's turned out to be one of the most versatile go-to players that Jurgen Klopp has at his disposal. Look back at many of the big games that we've played. He often turns to Gini Wijnaldum because you know you're going to get a top-level performance out of Gini. And he's just improved season on season on season at the club. And signing him to a new deal, I know people don't want to hear this, but it could be as good as a transfer. Because losing him and bringing in somebody else in a similar position is a bit of a gamble. And he is already at the club. We've already probably covered his transfer fee at this point. So, yeah, I hope that this is the case, that he stays. I know Brian Morrissey disagrees with me a little bit, and that Brian Morrissey likes to tell me that he thinks that he's going to move on. He thinks that Gini Wijnaldum, this is dragging out a bit long, and he's been saying this to me for months, to give him credit, that he thinks Gini will move on. I've always been of the mindset that I think and hope that Gini stays at the club. Alejandro said, bring in the Gini news. I'm hoping, mate. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you want Liverpool to tie up Gini Wijnaldum to a new deal? Let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Also, if you're not a member of the channel and you want to sign up, it's really easy to do so. Just hit the join button where your subscribe button would be. It's just 99p a month to join Anfield Agenda FC, and that gets you a load of things. It gets you use of all the cool emojis that Connor's designed for the channel, which I'm sure somebody's gonna, I say spam into the chat. I've asked them to spam into the chat. And look, I've yet to see a thumbs down. Beautiful on the Genie stuff, love it. And look, yeah, do hit that join button, ladies and gentlemen. You also get the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name. Your name appears in green to me, which means I can see your comments a lot easier. And what else do you get? You also get access to the Anfield Agenda Discord group, which is available to all our members, which we talk to people offline when we're not doing streams. So, yeah, look, it's just thumbs up all over the place. Leon can with thumbs down, but he's a United fan, so it is to be expected. And Leon giving the thumbs down just lets us know how good a player that Jadon Wijnaldum is, that Leon is giving that thumbs down, because you would fucking kill to have him at Liverpool, Leon, mate. Be honest. So look, you can also see all the emojis there that Connor's designed. The Craig's bald head won the goal, won the Van Dijk one, Si Senor. Fuck 'em. Premier League trophy 6 times. WFM, which is our channel motto. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know what WFM means, it means we're fucking massive. That's basically our channel motto. It's WFM. Genie stays then, says Alejandro. I'm loving it. I'm loving all these thumbs up. Loads of love for Genie. Well in to each and every one of you. Liz said, I freaking love Jadon Wijnaldum. Oh, that's a super chat, Liz. You know what that means? Everybody knows what a super chat means. Who wants to say hello to him? Because we haven't seen Mr. Newland Voider yet for the afternoon. We've moved him a little bit, so say hello to Newland. Go on. Look at him. He's fucking delighted at the Genie news. Look. Go on, son. Go on. Go on. Go on. There he is. Every time we get a super chat, Newland Voider pops up to say hello and bust a few. He's still dropping that acid like there's no tomorrow. John Hamilton has put a link in as well. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in there right now. Right, what else have we got? Remember that Werner isn't totally off until it's official. We ended talks with Van Dijk, then signed again. The rest is history, so keep calm, said Sundershan. Thank you very much for that, mate. Or Sudershan. Excuse me, mate, if I mispronounced your name there. What have we got? I love Genie. His smile is enough. There we go, said Luca Bradley. Rob Shepherd is putting in a thumbs up as well. Thank you very much, Rob. All these super chats, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, super stickers. For a channel like ours, the size of ours, this is the lifeblood of our channel. So thank you so much to everybody that is so kind like that and gives us super chat, signs up to become members. It means the world to us because it allows us to keep the lights on. And we are a small channel, even though we're getting close to 40k. We'll get there by the end of the season. I have every faith in you guys. Right, I really believe that Klopp has something up his sleeve and will do something that surprises us, said Liam Costa. But let me move on with the news, ladies and gentlemen, because it does keep coming thick and fast. And somebody who I don't actually have an image for, so I'm going to just talk about this because I forgot to talk about it last night. The lad representing, or the man representing Lille forward, Victor Osimhen, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, has come out and said that Liverpool have made their interest known in signing the player this summer. He said Napoli has not agreed to deal with him. All the mentioned clubs, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool and Chelsea, have made contact with him, but he will decide after his dad's burial because unfortunately his father passed away. So obviously sincere condolences to him and his family on that one. But he is a player that I know you guys have mentioned to me before. I don't pay too much attention to the French league, I've got to be honest with you, so I haven't watched too much of Lille or this guy, but I'd love to know what you guys in the chat think about him. Again, I think the transfer fee, I think if my memory serves me correct, the figure of around 40 million was being thrown around, but I don't know how true that is or how false that is. So yeah, Victor Osimhen, I believe is how you pronounce his name, Osimhen, again, if I pronounced that one badly. Leon Kahn said Man United want everyone faceplant. They do, mate. Every player that's out there I see Man United linked with at some point. Right, next on the list to talk about is something that has been driving me demented lately, so bear with me on this one. Right, look, this is something you're going to have to just sit back and strap yourselves in for a minute, because I'm going to talk about the venue, or the potential venue for the next Merseyside derby. So the decision on where the Reds game against Everton on June the 21st takes place has been delayed. The Ground Safety Advisory Group was intending to meet on Monday, but that meeting has been pushed back to allow Liverpool and Everton to put together more plans and stuff to present as to why they believe that the game should be played at Goodison and why Liverpool's other games should be played either home or away, the venues that they're intended. So let me say that I think this entire thing is a complete fucking joke. Right now, we see football fans once again being vilified. So let me break this down and show you guys how I'm looking at this. So right now we have people trying to say that some Liverpool fans might show up at a stadium if Liverpool are about to win the Premier League. So what would that entail? A couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 Liverpool fans, potentially, because it's all hypothetical, showing up to maybe welcome a team bus for 30 seconds and hang around outside the stadium where they could be moved on by police. But that's being held up as a potential safety hazard during a coronavirus pandemic. But Up and down the country, you see people fucking marching in protest for a very good cause. I'm not trying to belittle the Black Lives Matter movement. What I'm trying to say here is people have the right to use their feet and go out and protest, and that's fine with the government. Sound. I've no issues with that. Where I have issues is that people are trying to vilify football fans, and it's not just Liverpool fans, because it ain't going to be just us that are talking about games being played behind closed doors. United versus Sheffield United, that was a game that was looked to be played behind closed doors. Our game away against Manchester City was another one they were looking to potentially play behind closed doors. Why are football fans being held up once again and used as a scapegoat? I'm fucking sick of it. And this is all hypothetical. From what I know, Liverpool fan groups, Everton fan groups, Manchester United fan groups, they will all tell their fans to stay at home. They will all tell their fans to stay away from the stadiums, to watch the game, enjoy it, adhere to social distancing and everything that we've been told to do. But no, once again, football fans are being held up as the big fucking bad bogey men and women of the world, and that they just simply can't be trusted. Fuck off is my simple as that. Just fuck off with this nonsense. If it's okay for everybody else to congregate, and I'm sound with that, I'm not sound with it with regards from the coronavirus epidemic, but I'm absolutely sound with their right to be able to go and protest. That is enshrined in, I think, the UK Constitution, in Ireland, in America, and in other countries around the world. People have the right to peaceful protest, and I fully support that right. But you can't do one thing for one group of people and then vilify another group of people who haven't even fucking gone anywhere yet. This is all hypothetical. But football fans, once again, are being told, bold football fans, stay at home. How dare you? How dare you? This drives me mad. It drives me absolutely demented that we're still being looked at and still being treated like Neanderthals. We're still being vilified. We're still being held up as thugs. We're not. We're not idiots. The football at this moment in time is a family game. Men, women, kids, everybody goes to football games. If you're unhappy with the potential of football fans going to a game, then put measures in place to stop them. Put security around the grounds to stop them if you don't want them being there. But don't be fucking hypocrites. Don't be hypocrites and say that it's okay for people to go to beaches, people to congregate in parks, people to go out and peacefully protest, but it's not okay to hypothetically show up at a ground that nobody knows if anyone's even going to show up at yet. Do you know what I mean? It just drives me mad, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this one, because it's a game that's coming up in what have we got? Just over 2 weeks' time, and still we don't know. The players don't know. The managers don't know. The Everton staff and players don't know where that game is going to be played. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, and I'm sorry. And the people are going to come in here and have a pop at me. Remember, I'm not just sticking up for Liverpool fans here. I'm sticking up for every fucking football fan up and down the country and around the world, because this affects not just Liverpool. As I said, United, Sheffield United, Manchester City, Everton. This affects all these clubs and a few more that I've forgotten about as well. So I'm not just on here saying that Liverpool fans are being vilified. I'm saying that football fans are consistently being vilified. Whether it's being pushed into crammed carriages on trains and marched to and from a stadium, whether it's been held behind afterwards inside the ground, whether it's been not allowed to go and take a beer to your seat inside the stadium. And I don't drink, as I said, so I couldn't really give a fuck about having a drink in my seat. But I like the idea of people being able to, because they're grown-ass adults that can be trusted safely to do something. I absolutely understand why they've got plastic bottles and they take the top off them and all of that. But God almighty, please, it's not the 1980s. Football fans aren't the big bad people that you think they are. They're good, decent, working class people. And hey, they're not even just working class people anymore, because football is the entertainment business now. So start treating us with a little bit of respect, because I think we've earned it at this moment in time. I think football fans have shown that they can do wonderful things. They can come together. They can do the right thing. They can lift people up. You've seen what's happened. You've seen the amount of money that was raised. You've seen wonderful things that have been done by football fans. And we don't get the credit that we deserve. So please stop vilifying football fans and looking at us as the big bad bogey men and women of the world, because we're not. If you're going to treat us one way, treat us the same way as everybody else. Other words, and this is to the authorities, shut the fuck up, stop being hypocrites, and do your fucking job. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, rant over. Right, what have we got? It's my birthday. The Premier League starts here, or the Premier League cakes at LFC Fan 96. What else have we got? It's okay. Timo can be a blue for the year 22-50, and Chelsea still won't have 19 and 6 at Far Royal. What else is there? How's this whole neutral grounds thing sorted out before? I'll never know. I don't understand who even came up with this bullshit idea. I really don't. It's ridiculous. I mean, 4 weeks ago, and I don't like to give credit to Joe Anderson here, the mayor of Liverpool, for many things, but even he believes that the game should be played at Goodison and Anfield, because we've moved on a lot in the last 4 weeks. When this was first thrown out there as a potential potential solution, I should say, to what's going on with regards to, people not congregating. We've moved on a lot in 4 weeks. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more people out and about. The phases of lockdown have moved on as well. KB said, "You're amazing, thank you. Speaking facts." Look, I'm just sick of football fans being treated like clowns, mate. We pay ridiculous prices to go to games. We pay ridiculous prices for our television subscriptions. We pay ridiculous prices for our shirts and our memorabilia and all that kind of stuff. But yet we're still treated like fucking kids. The Rufus Rundown, how are you, buddy? Said, "Sports may be one of the few things that bring people together during these crazy times and lessen the restrictions in light of recent events." Thank you for the super chat, pal. I really appreciate that. Look, one thing that sport does, and Rufus has kindly pointed that out there, is it brings people together. So having the Premier League back, having sport back, whether it be UFC, whether it be boxing, whether it be horse racing, whether it be darts, whatever it might be, having sport back and on television starts to make us feel like we've got a little bit of normality back in our lives, doesn't it? I know with me it does anyway. And I love the idea that we're going to have this crazy festival of football to finish up the season, with games being played pretty much every day of the week, multiple games being played some days as well. It's class. And we know that football is the most popular game in England, and the football is celebrated, and the football is held up a lot of the time, and rightly so, because it's a massive money generator. But fans, we're the last ones. We're always forgotten about. We're always the ones that are belittled, and it just needs to stop, ladies and gents. Right, what else we got? LFC Fan 96 said, "Craig, have you stopped using Hot Mic?" No, mate, we haven't. We're just going to do our watch-alongs on Hot Mic. So we're going to do all of our other streams on YouTube. And if you guys don't know what Hot Mic is, you're in for a treat. Starting back with the Sevilla Betis derby during the week, we're going to be doing that on Hot Mic. Hot Mic is a new app, well, I say new, it's around a few months, that allows you to sync up air match commentary direct to how you're watching the game. It is absolutely brilliant. It is a free app that's available in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. We're closing in on 2,000 followers on Hot Mic as well, which is amazing. And as a little thank you to our followers on there, once we hit 2,000 followers, we're going to give away a £50 Amazon gift card to one of our followers. Hot Mic, I've personally been bringing loads of new people over to Hot Mic. So Mark Goldbridge is on Hot Mic now, Lee Gunner's on there, Claude Nabances are on there, Lee Chappie's on there, the Anfield Rapper on there, Redmen TV are on there. And you're going to get more and more and more of the big football YouTubers coming across to that platform as well. If you want to do us a favour and you don't want to have to put your hand in your pocket, my friends, please do download that Hot Mic app from either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. It's a free app. It's pretty much like using YouTube for a watch-along. But that sync button is the beauty of the app. The sync button, as I said, if you want to go for a pee and you pause the game, you want to come back and you want to listen to our commentary, you can resync. So it syncs up my commentary to your soundbar, your mobile device, your television, and you can have our commentary in time with the game. So you can get a play-by-play update from myself or Mark or whoever it is that you guys want to go and watch. It is a beautiful piece of kit. I'm a massive advocate of this, and I know Mark has said to me as well that the feedback that he's been getting from people over at That's Football as well, that he's been using for the watch-alongs, have said they absolutely love it. It is a free app. There are no ads on there. There were no pop-ups on there. There are no trolls on there really either yet, which is great. So if you do want to help us out, ladies and gentlemen, please do download that app. And it's important that when you download it and you're asked for a sign-up code, the code is Anfield, all capital letters, ANFIELD, and that will help us out massively as well. So yeah, if you want to do it, please do. We're at 1,914 followers on there, so we're just 86 followers away. And it is a brilliant app as well, which we're going to be using more when the Premier League comes back. So, as I said, the Reds game against Everton, we're going to be doing on Hot Mic. Manchester City against Arsenal, I'm going to be covering that one on Hot Mic as well. The Betis Sevilla game, I'm going to be doing that one. So yeah, do check it out. I'm not going to keep going on about it, but please do check it out. Any transfer news? I've literally just gone through loads of it, mate. Gone through loads of it there. I've gone through the Jadon Sancho stuff. I've gone through Adama Traore. I've gone through the Gini Wijnaldum contract situation. What else is there? I've gone through the Lille forward as well that we spoke about earlier on. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to you now for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Anything that you want to talk about, please do let us know. And for those that were asking when the stream started, it started just after 8:30, mate. We're playing around with a new time to see how it goes on, because I understand that people are... some people think 9:15 is a little bit too late, and we're just trying to play around with times to try and get one that suits as many people as possible, because we do listen to feedback. This is your channel, as I keep saying, so we want to do what makes you guys happy. Coming up on 3 months being a member, and I love it, said Luca Bradley. Thank you, Luca, and we really appreciate you being a member, mate, and supporting the channel. It means the world to us. I think we're really close to hitting 200 members as well, so if you do want to sign up, as I said, hit that join button, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? I'm pretty good, thank you. JPXIBI. I'm good, mate, thank you. I hope you are as well. What else is there? Past people's bedtime, said Sipsco01. That's the thing. I mean, I never thought of that, because I'm a night owl. So we used to do, when we do the 9:15 PM streams, they used to go on till after midnight when we first started. Our streams used to go for 2.5, 3 hours. But now we try and keep it around the hour mark, or just under the hour. So, yeah, again, please do. If you enjoy the stream, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ladies and gents. I'd love to see that figure hit 38k very soon. Just sub, said Carl. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. The support means a lot to us, buddy. It really does. Luca said, worth every penny, the membership. And you've no idea, mate. It might only be 99p a month, but when all these little things add up, it really does make a lot to a small channel like ours. Are Liverpool going to buy Timo Werner, said JPXIBI. I don't think so, mate. But the looks of it, it looks like he's going to Chelsea. If City lose and we beat Everton, we win the league. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Wouldn't it be fucking sweet? Where would you guys like to win the league? Would you like us to go and win it at Goodison, or would you like us to win it against Crystal Palace? Isn't that the next game? Afterwards at Anfield. So, I want to know what you guys think. Would you rather... I wouldn't mind going and winning it on Everton's gaff. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. I mean, if the fans were inside the stadium, I would have preferred it to be at Anfield, because I would have loved Liverpool to have that moment with all their family, the supporters inside the stadium. But I don't know. When there's no supporters inside the stadium, I wouldn't mind going to Woodison and winning it, to be fair. Connor said, Jesus, yeah, the streams used to be ridiculously long. They did. I used to go full on Joe Rogan and go 2.5, 3 hours. Brian would rather win it at Anfield. At Everton, said Ryan Walsh. Tim said Accrington Stanley. Who are they, Tim? Exactly, pal. Against Everton, said Dan. Craig, who do you think we're going to sign? Anyone this summer? Said Casper. Mate, I think I've probably answered that question 500,000 times over the past few weeks, and I've probably gotten it wrong 500,000 times, so I hope that we have. Connor said, fun fact, Craig has never had to leave a stream to use the toilet. I did have to leave a stream once, but it was to get some tissue because I had a runny nose. But yes, I've never had to leave a stream, even a 3-hour stream, to go to the toilet, because I don't know why I'm able to hold it. I'm a bit of a camel in that way. Anfield, but in today's world, at Goodison, said the Rufus Rundown. Do you think Liverpool will spend this summer, said Benjamin Terrell? I hope so, Benjamin. I mean, it was a kick in the nuts losing out the Werner thing. That there's no denying that. I was a massive advocate of bringing him to Liverpool, but I don't want to lose my rag yet. And look, if we go through this summer and don't strengthen, and United strengthen, and Spurs strengthen, and City strengthen, and Everton strengthen, and Chelsea strengthen, then yeah, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm going to be pissed off, because we have to consolidate and improve. But if it's a quiet window all across Europe, and there's a lot of loan signings and a lot of player exchanges, then, do you know, in all fairness, I might be... I said an all member because we got a new member to the channel there, so it was a little bit of a slip of a tongue. I seen the word member pop up. Again, I have to be careful saying member pop up in a sentence as well, because that could be taken out of context. But Darren Herbert, mate, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, the newest member to the channel. Really appreciate the support, buddy. Enjoy the use of all the emojis. Make sure you go into the community tab on the Anfield Agenda YouTube page, buddy, and get the Discord link and come over and join us over there as well for a chat. And look, this is why I love our subscribers so much. Immediately, one new member, Darren. Next comment underneath, welcome to the channel. Liz said welcome. LFC fan said welcome. Joanne said welcome. Tom Boland said welcome. This is why I love Ash, Brian. This is why I love our family. And it is a fucking family on here. We are a community and we look out for each other. So welcome, Darren, and I'm so glad to see our subscribers saying the same thing. We need to play Wilson next year, said Jamar Spence. Excuse me, Jamar. I would disagree. I would disagree respectfully, mate. I think if we could move on Shaqiri, if we could move on Harry Wilson, if we could move on maybe one or two other fringe players, as well as freeing up the wages of Adam Lallana and Nathaniel Klein, maybe that would help us bring in that one player that we're talking about here. So I get where you're coming from, and I can understand why people want Harry Wilson to be given a chance. I genuinely can. I just think, I have a feeling, if the right money is available and somebody puts it down on the table, Liverpool will cash in. But look, it's just my opinion. Craig, can you see Van de Beek going to United? Said, well, hello there. Again, that is a new link that has come out. The link that has always been there for Donny Van de Beek has been Real Madrid. They were really close to doing that in the last window, but they couldn't quite get the money together to get it over the line. Van de Beek will move on. It's just a matter of where he goes, and I really rate Donny Van de Beek as a footballer, so I hope he doesn't end up at United. I hope he ends up somewhere else at Real Madrid or whatever. But again, mate, United do have the money to go out and do a few transfers this summer, so whether it's Donny Van de Beek, whether it's Jadon Sancho, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. And look, obviously I hope that United fuck up like they have done in the last few transfer windows and do very little business. Leon said, I low-key want this channel to never grow because this community is amazing. It's a brilliant group of people, mate, and I'm privileged and proud to be here every night talking to amazing people. But unfortunately, I do want the channel to grow. I want us to increase our family, and I want them to get more. I want us to get more people in, because I want Connor to get that 100,000 subscriber YouTube award. I'm not going to lie. I've wanted it from day one. Craig, one transfer if budget was a constraint. Who would I take if one transfer? I would have said Timo Werner. I'm not going to lie. He would have been my first choice. If budgets were a constraint, probably Houssem, because I think we could probably get him for around 35-40 million quid. So yeah, he'd probably be the one I'd go for. If we were able to spend 70-80 million quid, then I'd love us to get Sancho or Kai Havertz. I won't lie. I think they're both excellent footballers. Dan the little man said, as a Dortmund fan, please don't take Sancho. I absolutely understand where you're coming from, Dan. He's been a revelation at Dortmund, and yeah, I can understand that you guys don't want to lose him. But one thing I will say about Dortmund is that they've made some tremendous signings over the last few windows and done so well with the money. So if Dortmund do move on Jadon Sancho, Dan, I'd be very confident, as if I was a Dortmund fan like yourself, that money will be reinvested very wisely indeed. Alex X said, Adama, Traore or Sancho? Sancho. Has to be Sancho. For a couple of reasons. One, I think he's a better player. Two, the age profile is absolutely perfect, because even if he stayed for 5 or 6 years, he'd still be only entering his peak then. It would be worth probably an incredible amount of money if we were to move him on. So yeah, Sancho for me on that one. We're definitely signing somebody. I don't know who, said Andrew Reid. I hope you're right, mate. I'd also seen that Liverpool are potentially lining up a pre-season, if you want to call it that, friendly. Well, I say pre-season, but you know what I mean. Friendly against Blackburn Rovers, maybe, before the Premier League season gets back underway. We did have a training friendly played, but there's talk that they're trying to get a game played against Blackburn Rovers. Klopp has said he is going to be looking at this next few weeks as sort of a pre-season, because there'll probably be a very short gap in between the end of this season and the start of the next season. So it hasn't been confirmed yet, but there is potential that the Reds will play friendly against Blackburn Rovers. Owen Rundle, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. What's all this about Dybala, said Mark Catterall. Right, for those that don't know, there is a story doing the rounds about Paulo Dybala. So he was playing in a charity fundraiser, playing FIFA 20, and he chose to play as Liverpool, and he was also belting out You'll Never Walk Alone as he was playing the game. I wouldn't read too much into it, but it's just proof that another player looks at this club and views us very, very highly, and views us in a very positive aspect. We've seen Kylian Mbappe talking positively about Liverpool. We've seen Jadon Sancho talking about Liverpool. We've seen Timo Werner talking about Liverpool. We've seen Paulo Dybala now going on and playing FIFA as Liverpool and singing You'll Never Walk Alone. We've seen who was the guy? Adrian Rabiot. Do you remember he put the love heart emoji eyes up when he was showing a picture of Anfield as well? It just goes to show Liverpool right now is a destination club, and people want to come and play here. Even if they might not have the potential to come here eventually, they want to do so on FIFA. And you know what? Fair play to Paulo Dybala. I'm sure that he's won a lot of Liverpool people over with that little gesture, if you want to call it that. And again, it was money raised for a very good cause as well. So well done to Dybala. But he won't be coming to Liverpool, let's be honest about it. Did you see Leipzig managing director say Chelsea haven't paid the release clause? I did indeed, Finn. We spoke about it last night, mate. That doesn't really mean too much, and I'll explain why, Finn. So, usually with these transfers, you'd have to negotiate a fee with the club, but anybody that wants to go and sign Timo Werner knows that €60 million is the buyout clause. So the real work to be done in that transfer is to convince the player that, let's say Chelsea in this case is the club that he should come to agree a wage structure, to agree a fee with his agent, to agree signing an on fee, and then all you have to do is go and deposit the entire €60 million into a bank account, trigger that release clause, and then job's a good one. The player's yours, and there's not really too much that Leipzig can do about it. So the triggering of the release clause will probably be the very last thing to happen here, mate, in this. So I think it's just a bit of lip service, really, from the managing director of Leipzig, because they're fairly sure they're going to lose the player. And look, they actually did really well to manage to convince him to sign a new deal when he could have left on a free. I'm still baffled at that one, how they managed to get that one to happen. But I guess he was just shown some loyalty to Leipzig, and they're going to get €60 million, and he's going to get a move to the Premier League by the looks of it. Lewis, welcome, mate, to Anfield Agenda FC, the newest member of the channel. Thank you very much. Make sure again, mate, to join the Discord group. Have a look on the community tab of the page. And again, look at that. Straight away, welcome Lewis all over the screen. I fucking love you guys, each and every one of you. What a group of people, honestly. Would today's financial climate make you think about moving Naby on? Not a chance. Not a chance, Rufus. If anything, I think we're going to see Naby Keita explode onto the scene this season, mate. I think that he's going to be a sensation. I think he's going to be the player that we'd all thought he was going to be. And he's looking very sharp in training. Himself and Takumi have been catching the eye. They've been looking really well in a load of clips and stuff that have come out. So yeah, no, I wouldn't move him on, Rufus, mate. I think the Klopp still believes in him. I've always believed in him, and I think we're going to see the best of Naby Keita come to the fore over the next season. So I understand where you're coming from, though, because there's no denying that he hasn't hit the heights that we'd hoped for yet. But hopefully that's going to change this season, or even the end of this season, the start of next season. But I wouldn't move him on personally, buddy. Again, look, I'm going to bring the stream to a close in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. So again, thank you for coming and joining us. Do me one favour, though, before you head off. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up on the stream as well. And if you're watching this later on, I'd love to know your thoughts on everything that we've spoken about. Put it in the comment section below. And as always, I'll do my best to try and get through as many of them as I can and reply where possible. Unless, of course, you're coming to troll me, in which case you'll just get removed from the channel. So, not really worth your time writing the comments, because it takes me 2 clicks to get rid of you, and it takes you God knows how long to write out the comment to call me a prick. So, you know, if you want to waste your time, then go ahead. Joanne, thank you for the super sticker to finish the stream, my friend. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end how I always do, by wishing your families health, happiness, prosperity. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And as always, up the motherfucking soon to be 19-time English champions. Whoop whoop. See you all soon.